The hardest thing to do in business: building an efficient organization. Part 4. A great vision needs great people. Organizational management is really about people and the process. If you don't know how to master these two, it doesn't matter what you have invented or how much money you have raised. You won't make it in business. It is usually really hard to get the best people to join you when you have just started a business because you are rightly considered too risky. It is particularly difficult when you, the founder, are yourself younger and inexperienced. I know what I am talking about because when I started out almost 30 years ago, I was only 26 years old and didn't have either the money or reputation to attract people to work with me. So I understand why most people in this situation will often turn to unemployed relatives and friends who can sometimes be unskilled and even troublesome. Believe me, I have been there and done that. I almost laugh now when I look back, but I had some people who were downright incompetent and almost got me killed. Remember, I am an electrical engineer by training, and some of my early recruits as electricians did not quite measure up. In my own case, my partner and I did almost every kind of job in our little business. There was simply no room for pretending to be the big man. When we did a job for a customer, I was there myself, and sometimes when we finished, I joined the cleaners to make sure the customer's premises were left clean. We did the work, the cleaning, the invoicing, and the books. We woke up early and went to bed very late. I never complained because it was honestly hard work for a younger man, and I enjoyed it. I interviewed every single person that I hired very carefully. I always looked for people who were skilled, sober, honest, and prepared to go to the extra mile. I knew them personally and their families. I tried to be fair in every aspect of my dealings with my employees. I wasn't just that, I considered myself a honorable man, but I also knew that people talk. I wanted the word to get out that I was a fair guy in an industry where people were often exploited, and the owners of businesses were known to think of themselves first, particularly when they got paid, as I discussed last week. When I did get paid, the first thing I tried to do was invest back in the business. In particular, I wanted my staff always to have the best tools for their job. I also wanted them to be proud of their employer. I was fastidious over things like uniforms, presentations, and appearance before a customer. Knowing that I didn't always have the opportunity and the money to hire the most skilled people, I focused a lot on training and workshops, which I handled myself. I drilled and drilled my staff. We talked about each job, and I allowed everyone to say something about what we learned. It's great to have the big idea, but you must have an eye for the details. Then one day it happened. I got a call from an engineer who worked for a highly reputable and well-established player in our industry. He wanted to join me, and soon it was a flood with people prepared to take a pay cut for the opportunity to work with my young company. Now remember what I said earlier, people talk. You want them to give you and your company a good reputation, one that attracts the best people to your business. The best people are the most profitable. That's business. In his best-selling book, Good to Great, Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't, Jim Collins writes, "Good vision without great people is irrelevant. Do you have the right people in your company focusing their time doing the right things? We will get to the importance of process next week." Afterthought. I consider it a disgrace to have a business with people from only one tribe, or where people from other races and religions feel unwelcome. From the beginning, I wanted diversity in my companies and went out of my way to hire women and people from different tribes. My country, Zimbabwe, had a sizable community of other races, and I hired them as well. A healthy business is one which reflects the diversity of the community in which it operates. Diversity gives business strength, and with that comes profitability. Afterthought 2. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Wrote the Nobel laureate Maya Angelou. It all goes back to the importance of the golden rule, which I wrote about a few weeks ago in my post about choosing partners. This applies to how workers and management treat each other too. Afterthought 3. I am not opposed to hiring relatives, but to the extent I have a choice, I try to avoid it. I once hired a cousin and he pushed his weight around the place. One day I told him off, and when I got home, I found his parents waiting for me because they were senior in our family. The following day I fired him and never looked back. If you have to hire relatives, including your children, you must make it clear to them that they are not there to be the bosses or policemen, particularly of people more skilled and experienced than they are. They must be respected for their ability by those working around them. Otherwise, your organization will not attract the best professionals.